me, Sasha Denbright, and welcome to episode 6 of season 2 of You Call That Targeting. My gosh! Great football last week, some great top 25 matchups, and we got some great top 25 matchups coming at you this week. I don't know what else to say, so I'm going to stop right there. Thank you guys for tuning in to the podcast. We're going to jump right into this absolute recap. Clemson beats Wake Forest 51-45 in double overtime. Mike picked that one correct. Notre Dame beats North Carolina. I picked that one correct, 45-32. And North Carolina scored late to make the score look better, just to make my Notre Dame look like they didn't dominate, but they did. Tennessee beats Florida 38-33. Me and Mike picked that right. And the game of the week, Texas A&M beat Arkansas 23-21. Mike was the only one that picked that one right. So the latest scores are in the normal picks. Me, I have 5 points. Mike has 9, and in the game of the week, I have 1. Mike has 2, and Earl has 2. So, yeah, so that's that. Now we're gonna move on. Let's give away some awards. So, starting with the team of the week, I am gonna pick Kansas State. Awesome upset over Oklahoma. The quarterback looked awesome. Anytime you go into Norman and beat Oklahoma, they were ranked number 6. Yeah, big upset. So my team of the week is the Kansas State Wildcats. Who do you got, Mike?
I gotta go with Texas A&M. Again, they looked good against Arkansas. That was a big win. And I know the Miami game doesn't look as big of a win anymore, but I think Texas A&M's really got some stuff together. They got some really good athletes, and that was the game of the week, and they overcame a 14-0 deficit, and so, yeah, I got to give them the team of the week.
Pretty good pick, not as good as mine. We're going to move on to trash teams, starting with Missouri. 17-14 lost to Auburn in overtime when they had an opportunity to win it with like a 20-something yard field goal. Their fat kicker, I mean, that dude was fat. He just missed it. Terrible kick. I could have went out there and done that. And then they go to overtime. They hold Auburn to a field goal. And then the guy, they are driving. They are going to score a touchdown, guys. He goes to reach over the pylon, drops the ball at the 1-yard line. Auburn picks it up, and they win 17-14. Missouri's nothing but garbage. Next garbage team or trash team, Appalachian State blows a 25-point lead against James Madison and lose, and they lost 32-28. Nothing but garbage. App State, you impressed me a few weeks ago. Now you're nothing but trash. Next trash team, Miami, loses 45-31. Absolute garbage team. Miami's not back, people. Just to let you know. Next trash team, we've already kind of mentioned them. The Oklahoma Sooners lose 41-34 to Kansas State. They're nothing but garbage. Every time they get up there and they're ranked and everybody wants to talk about how good Oklahoma is, Kansas State comes walking in and absolutely beats the absolute mess out of them. Next trash team, Warner University. I don't even know nothing about this school. I don't know if it's FCS. I don't know if it's Division II. I don't even care. They lost 98-0 to Stephen F. Austin. So Warner University, you're nothing but garbage. But now, it's time for my absolute trash team of the week. My absolute trash team of the week goes to Florida International. My gosh! They lost 73-0 to Western Kentucky. And you might be like, well, why didn't you pick the team that lost 98-0? Well, who cares about those teams? Florida International is a FBS school in the state of Florida with Florida recruit and Florida talent on their team, and Western Kentucky beat them 73-0. My gosh, Florida International, you're nothing but trash! Anyways, so congratulations, Florida International, on being an absolute trash team of the week. Now it's time for the Children's Hospital update. We're up to $15 now. Iowa won this past week. Bo Nix threw an interception, and Hawaii lost. So we went up $5, so we're at a total of $15. So thank you, Bo Nix, for screwing up. Thank you, Hawaii, for losing. And thank you, Iowa, for winning. Maybe we can keep this thing going and raise some more money. But now, it's time for questions. First question is from Nipple Hair on a Rocking Chair, spinning in the summer's wind. Man, I couldn't even read that. What kind of name is that? I don't even. Why use that as your name on your profile? I really don't know. But anyways, he says, "Let's go Tennessee, woot woot. Gators didn't chomp anything but butt cheek pimples. It's finally Tennessee's year. We want Bama. We want Bama." Question is, if you could slap Mike with your right hand with half your strength, or left hand with all your strength, which hand? I'm definitely going with my left hand, Nipple Hair. Or do I call you Nipple Hair on a rocking chair spinning in the summer's wind? Left hand, I'm pretty talented. I'm pretty amphibious with both hands. And left hand, he's out cold. If I can do it with all my strength. Right hand with half my strength, he's probably gonna have a black eye. You know, maybe a tooth gets knocked out or something like that. But Mike is nothing but trash, so either way would be fun. But yeah, I would say the left hand is what I would do. Next question is from Prince Kardashian Denbright of Wukiji Foshizi Island. He says, "Hello, my brother. Greetings from my island. Was wondering, how does Auburn get so lucky every season? Somebody must be praying to Allah on their behalf because my Tiki Tiki Idol doll hears my prayers, and I never get that lucky." My goodness, this guy can't talk. Okay, Sancho, have good day. By the way, I think we are related. You could be a prince. Well, I know I am a prince in Tig's mom's eyes. I'm already treated like a prince. She treats me like a prince every day. So your island really just sounds like absolute suck balls to me. Don't even care about it. To answer your question, I don't know how Auburn gets so lucky. Because they're trash this year and they still find a way to win. And I know it was against a trash team like Missouri. But they do get lucky. It should be Notre Dame. I mean, the luck of the Irish, we should have got lucky. We didn't get lucky against Marshall, that's for sure. But yeah, I don't really get it. And I probably wouldn't pray to your Tiki Tiki Idol doll. I'd probably pray to Jesus. And I would get right. I would repent of your sins before you burn in an absolute lake of fire. But thanks, and maybe I'll visit your island or maybe not. But I really don't care. Next question is from Toilet Factories Make Great Babies. Which is true, by the way, because me and Natasha Denbright were found in an abandoned toilet factory, and we turned out to be pretty great. Even though Grandpa Frank and Grandma is nothing but garbage, our parents are worthless, and but anyways, I'm successful. Natasha, I guess he's kind of successful, and so we're okay. But anyways, get on to your question. It says, everyone wants to know who cuts your hair. I hear Beeson's and Fort Payne is straight absolute trash. Also, I heard that Tig's cousin Philip is going to be on that basketball team again. Will you be coaching again as well? Man, a lot to cover in this question. I fly in a guy from New York City to cut my hair. He shall remain nameless. I pay him $3,000 every 2 weeks to fly into our local airport. He comes to my house. He cuts my hair. I give him $3,000 plus tip. And then he goes back on his merry way, and I see him again in 2 weeks. And so that's who cuts my hair. I don't know if Beeson's, if I would call him straight absolute trash. But Stephen Clements does get his hair cut there, and he's pretty ugly. Yeah, my stepson, if you didn't know, that's Tig, by the way. My stepson is nothing but garbage. But anyways, his cousin Philip, which is Stephen Clements' brother, he is playing basketball again. This kid is nothing but trash. I mean, he talks a big talk, but he can't make a shot to save his life. He won't even attempt a shot because he's scared to mess up in front of his girlfriends at school. But yeah, he's playing again, but I will not be coaching this year. I'll probably go and support the kids when the games start. I might show up at a practice. Who knows? I miss some of the kids. Pretty great kids. They're not great at basketball, but they're great kids. But yeah, I won't be coaching. I spend too much time, or I don't really spend enough time with Demi DeMarcus Denbright. And so he's usually going to be going to bed by the time I would be getting done with practice. And so that's just, I can't really miss spending time with my son to coach a crap basketball team. But next question is from Nika D's Nuts. He says, I guarantee Minnesota will win the national championship. Also, what TV show would you want to be in? That's a great question. First of all, Minnesota's not even going to sniff the playoff or the national championship, so I don't even know what you're talking about. But what TV show would I be in? It's a toss-up between The Office and Full House. The Office would be fun because cool co-workers and fun people to be around. But then Full House would be nice because I would actually have a good family. I would have a dad that loves me. I'd have a cool uncle, that rides motorcycles and teaches me all about, all about women and music. And then I would have Joey, that comes in and, he tells me funny jokes and does funny stuff. And then they all, sing a song to me at bedtime. And sounds pretty awesome to me. Sounds like an awesome life. So yeah, I would go with Full House or The Office or a mixture of both and see how that goes. But anyways, the next question is from My Poop Looks Like Soft Serve. He says, Sasha, I really thought Clemson was going to lose that game. Is Dabo and Clemson still legit, or are they about to lay an absolute trash egg? And did you see Dabo sprint out down the hill a few weeks ago, coming onto the field? I thought he was going to fall on his face. Psh. I thought the same thing. When I was watching the video, I was just waiting for him to fall. But apparently the dude still got it, man. He can sprint. And he can run just as fast as his players. He could probably get on the defense and play better defense than they did against Wake Forest. Clemson, I don't think is legit. I mean, they got to play NC State coming up, and I don't think they're legit. I feel like they're going to lose a regular season game somewhere. They got too much close games going on. They're not the same Clemson team we knew from a few years ago, winning national championships. They're not that team anymore, so I don't think they're that legit. What do you think, Mike, since you ain't saying nothing over there?
Oh, I'm just sitting back and enjoying the show. I don't think Clemson's legit anymore. I think, like you said, they're going to lose a game or two this year. I don't see them making the playoffs, and if they do make the playoffs, I don't think they're going to play with teams like Georgia or Alabama or maybe even Michigan. Not really liking what I'm seeing from Clemson this year.
All right, well, next question is from I Got Bumps on My Lumps. He asked, if there was a reverse Final Four playoff for the most trash team, who would be the trash winner? Colorado State, Georgia State, or Hawaii? Well, I can tell you this, out of those four teams, it ain't going to be Hawaii. Hawaii is nothing but garbage. I haven't really watched the other teams. I hadn't even really looked at their schedules. I know that I think Colorado and Colorado State got some bad losses this year. The state of Colorado, I mean, I guess they're just too busy smoking weed to care about their football teams because they're nothing but trash. But I would just say I think Georgia State. If I'm pulling a name out of the hat, I think Georgia State wins. I think Hawaii loses 85-0. Next question is from I Love Gatorade Vomit. He says, Sasha, I think you are sleeping on USC. They are going to the playoff. Psh, what an idiot. First of all, the only thing I'm sleeping on is Tig's mom. And I enjoy it. USC reminds me a lot of Pam on The Office. If you're an Office fan, a lot of people love Pam. A lot of people love, her personality. And that, some people would say Pam's their favorite character. But USC's a lot like Pam. I think a lot of people like them, but I think they're nothing but garbage. And nothing but an absolute waste of time. I think USC is nothing but a joke, like Pam. I say Pam's a joke. She's not even a joke, because a joke's funny, Pam has never said anything funny on The Office. She's nothing but trash. I could have a whole podcast episode on how trash Pam is. And that's how I feel about USC. They're nothing but garbage. They almost lost to Oregon State. They'll lose to somebody. And I hope they lose to Notre Dame at the end of the year. I hope Notre Dame goes in there and absolutely beats the brakes off of them. That's what I hope. I think Notre Dame has them in the last game. I hope USC's undefeated, wanting to go to the playoff. And I hope Notre Dame beats them 70-0. and they get to go home and have nothing. Hate USC, and they're nothing but garbage. Anyways, that's it for the questions. We're going to get into the picks for this week. Starting with the first game, Kentucky at Ole Miss. I'm going to go with Ole Miss. I like them at home. And Kentucky really hadn't impressed me at all. Everybody talked about the quarterback being great. He looks like trash. What do you think, Mike?
I don't know if he looks like trash, but I agree with you. Ole Miss at home, I think they're going to find a way to win. And Kentucky really hasn't impressed me yet. So they have an opportunity to impress me if they win, but I don't see it happen. I'll go with Ole Miss.
All right. Next game is Wake Forest at Florida State. I'm going to go with Wake Forest. I like what I've seen against Clemson. They love taking shots down the field. They got a great quarterback. They got some athletes out there. And I don't think Florida State's as talented as Clemson. And they took Clemson to double overtime. So I'm going with Wake Forest.
I'm going to go with Florida State. I like them at home. They're 4-0. Something's going right there in Tallahassee. And so I'm going to pick them to win.
What an absolute garbage pick. Anyways, let's move on. Alabama at Arkansas. I mean, it's so hard to pick against Alabama, and so I put a lot of thought into this, and I kept telling myself, pick Alabama, pick Alabama. Texas A&M beat Arkansas. They're not as good as you thought, but I think at Arkansas, Alabama hasn't really impressed me. Bryce Young hasn't impressed me. I think he's going to get a lot of pressure on him. I think this Arkansas team is going to be fired up to play Alabama. I'm going to say Arkansas pulls the upset and beats Alabama.
Now that is a trash pick. Yeah, I'm going with Alabama. I don't even have to say anything about it. Alabama's going to go in there and handle their business.
Trash. Next game, NC State at Clemson. I'm going with NC State. I think it's finally, I think NC State beat Clemson last year, if I'm not mistaken. And Clemson just hadn't impressed me that much. I think NC State's a pretty good team. I know it's at Clemson. It's going to be a tough environment, but I am going with NC State.
Man, we are disagreeing a lot on this episode. I'm going with Clemson. Like I said earlier, I don't think they're legit. I don't think they're a playoff contender. But I do see them winning this game.
All right, so it's time for our game of the week. A lot of people was probably wondering why we didn't pick Kentucky Ole Miss. But we ended up picking Oklahoma State at Baylor just to give the Big 12 some love. So I'm going to start out, and I'm going to pick Baylor. I like them at home. I think this is a team that I think was one win away last year from being a playoff team. I think their coach is doing a great job there. I'm going to go with Baylor.
And again, we're going to disagree. I'm going to go with Oklahoma State on the road. I think they get it done. I think they got just a little bit more firepower, but I think it'll be a great game. I think that's why we picked this as game of the week.
Who do you got, Earl?
Well, I put some thought into it, or I tried. By the way, I'm down here in the state of Texas again, and I hate it. I wish y'all would send me somewhere else. I'm kind of tired of this job. Come down here and try to pick these games, and I don't know. I just want to go home. I miss my wife. But I mean, I'm gonna pick Baylor, I guess, just because they're at home. That's really the only reason. Don't really know anything about these teams. I'm just here, and yeah. So. Go Baylor.
Well, Earl, if you don't want to do your job, how about you go flipping home? My gosh! I mean, we pay you good money to fly around the nation watching college football, and you're going to complain about it? My gosh, what an idiot. Anyways, that's how we're going to end the show. We'll see you guys next week. Thanks for watching, or listening, I guess, because I guess you don't really watch. Anyways, have a good night.